Hello everyone, so I am Bhavesh Singh. Today I'll be discussing some portion of modern India, a brief overview. So let's start. So we will discuss about social reform movement that happened in India in 19th century under British rule. So we will briefly look around the movement that happened and then we will compare to what were their shortcomings and what changed in the 20th century regarding this social movement. So we can start from Bengal. Actually, the social reform movement started from Bengal because the intelligentsia was there. The Renaissance in the case of India actually started from Bengal because it was the, you can say it was, yeah, earlier in influence of British education and Western ideas were easily propagated there. So some luminaries such as Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar took a step to bring some social reform there. Like Raja Ram Mohan Roy was involved in abolition of sati and fought for women's right. Same Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was against widows remarriage. Like he was for widows remarriage and against child marriage of women. So in that way, Bengal Renaissance started in their leadership. Then Brahmo Samaj was started by Raja Ram Mohan Roy in 1848. It was basically a reformist movement which wanted to reform Hinduism and bring monotheism in it. Like so many evil practices were going on. He focused mainly on monotheism. He opposed idolatry. He was against caste discrimination and child marriage, and he also emphasized the importance of education and women right. So we can say that Raja Ram Mohan Roy and his Brahmo Samaj played a very important role in Indian Renaissance and social reform movement in 19th century. He was actually, we can call him that he spearheaded the movement. Uh, in the later part of 19th century, we can see around 1875 Arya Samaj is founded by Dayanand Saraswati. He gave the slogan of back to Vedas, so he was basically promoting Vedas. So he was against later Hindu texts such as Puranas, and he wanted people to follow the Vedas. So he advocated a abolition of untouchability, window remarriage, and he also championed women's education cost. And we can also say that Arya Samaj worked for promotion of good values and was against child marriage, polygamy, and dowry system. So it was basically teaching Vedic philosophies, but there was some ill things in also there. Like Arya Samaj in its later phases promoted a Suddhi movement in which like they were converting non-Hindus to Hindus. So it brought a kind of differences between Hindus and non-Hindus. So that was one negative aspect of this Arya Samaj. Then there's Aligarh movement, which was started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, where he emphasized for modern education to Muslims under British rule, because he was thinking that Muslims have left behind after the 1857 revolt. So he was championing education cause for Muslims, and he was trying to bring Quran and modern ideas on same page. So he did, like he established Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, which played a pivotal role in promoting education in Muslims in India. In addition to these, we had some reform movements in southern India also. Uh, in that, some noticeable reforms were like just Justice Party, which was formed in Madras, which was basically an anti-Brahminic movement, result of anti-Brahminic movement, and it was aiming to eradicate social inequalities based on caste and religion. So they also advocated good things like widow remarriage and championed women rights and work for eradication of untouchabilities. One more prominent name in South India is E.V. Ramasamy Naikar, better known as Periyar. He propagated self-respect movement. It was basically aiming at combating social discrimination and doing away with superstitions and promoting rationalism around among the marginalized communities. Mahatma Gandhi also supported his movement. So these were like basically some of the movements in 19th century, but they had some negative aspects. Like some of these can be said like they had cultural conflict. Like as I told you, the Suddhi movement from Arya Samaj. So it was having cultural conflicts, non-Hindus. Then there was some resistance from traditionalists who wanted like old system to continue. Like many of these movements were against child marriage and widow remarriage. So people were resisting those changes because they wanted the old system to continue. Also, these movements had very limited reach and impact because they were focusing only mainly on educated elite and urban population, and that was very less of the total Indian population at that time. Also, we can say that they had and concept they had an impact of cultural hegemony. Like Western ideas were being promoted in India, and it was showing like everything that is Western is good. So it was alienating people from their original Indian culture. Other than that, there was gender imbalance, like it was overshadowed by male leaders, and many of the women voices were subdued. There was clash of ideologies, and there were some unintended consequences, like people were going back, like when they say go back to Vedas, people were going back to traditional practices. So these were some negative aspects of the 19th century social reform movements in India. Now we can look at what changed in 20th century. So in 20th century actually these social movement evolved as the social political landscape was evolving. As we know that in 1885 Indian National Congress was also formed. So several changes were going on in Indian society, and we can see those changes in these social movements also. So some of the changes is like these movement got broadened. Like earlier they were just focusing on some specific social practices, but now they were concerned with some other factors also, like economic inequality. You will see like un-British rule in India kind of books being written in 20th century, and so people will now focusing on economic drain theory, land reforms, labor right, political empowerment. So these movements broadened, and in addition to that, the angle of independence added to these movements. Like in 20th century, more focus was on independence, and Mahatma Gandhi was like spearheading all that. So all the social movement were having a major component of independence, Swaraj, and all those things. 20th century also saw women empowerment being more prominent now in these movements. People like Sarojini Naidu, Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, and many more other paved the way for advancement of women rights. And we can see women getting important posts like Sarojini Naidu getting chairman of Indian National Congress. Then Dalit and tribal movement also flourished, and also we see after the independence, these movement continued. Dalit movement was spearheaded by leaders like Ambedkar ji, Jyotirao Phule, and Periyar Nayakar, everyone. In addition to this, we say social justice policies which were mainly for SCs, STs, and OBCs continued after even after independence. Also, the civil right movements, human right movements in America and Western countries also influenced Indian social movements in 20th centuries. So overall, 20th century brought many changes in social reform in India, and broader issues as I discussed: social justice, women empowerment, economic empowerment, and independence of India. All those added up. So this was all about the social movement that happened in India.